Hi, this is my first ever vlog, and I thought I'd kick it off with something that I saw very recently in my travels around ride hailing apps and how the communication is not up to the mark. As a matter of fact, just some thoughts on the ride hailing apps itself. So, uh, we all have heard that Uber recently pulled out of Southeast Asia for various reasons, and we everybody's been rather sad about that because now we're left with only two options, which is especially in Singapore, the local cab company called Comfort and Grab, the dominant player, who has overtaken, incidentally, Uber across multiple markets and is Grab. Everything that was Uber was Grab, especially in Southeast Asia. Uh, One of the things I realized, and I was on a recent trip to Bali on during Hari Raya, and we landed at the airport, and surely enough, we tried to get a Grab, and what surprised me is even with the location based mapping, which assuming Grab is doing to know where I am, it did not even show me a message or tell me that I needed to go elsewhere. So here's the thing: the local cab companies are are forming a cartel, some kind of a mafia, to charge extra to take ferry passengers, unknowing passengers, from the airport to the city, and they're charging obnoxious amounts of money. What should actually cost you about 25 or 50 or 70,000 rupiah, they're charging you 200,000, 300,000 rupiah, which is double or triple the price. First opportunity for Grab from a comms perspective is use the geolocation when your customers are coming in and tell them, hey, if you're at the Bali airport, why don't you come to arrivals where we can help you? So surely that can be something that they can do. The other thing that I found is people canceling on you when you're on ground, especially for Grab. And I found that quite annoying, to be honest with you. And again, the communication is extremely poor when it comes to sorting, such problems out. However, before going to Indonesia, Bali, I did download the local app called Gojek, and I cannot tell you how pleasantly surprised I was with A, the efficiency, B, the ease of use, three, just the responsiveness that the team had. And it made me think in hindsight that literally it's the local players which are focused on hyper localization, having the local language, local insights are doing extremely well. And that made me think back on my travels. I travel often to India for work and personal reasons. And since I don't have a car there, and sometimes I just need to get around, I tend to use Ola and Uber. Ola is the localized version of Uber in India, and honestly, I have found Uber to be quite sad in India when it comes to service and the quality. I just maybe it's just a bias I have, but I found Ola extremely responsive, professional, and it works. And you see, they have innovative products as well. Like you can hire Ola not just for X amount of rides, but you can hire them by the hour for 4 hours, 6 hours, and keep using them as a personal vehicle. And honestly, this service is shifting the model of car ownership from owning a car to renting a service, getting things that you want to done. You don't need to worry about the hassles of parking, paying parking fees, and so forth. It's all included in your ride. So yeah, I think the personally, the reason why I decided to do this video is I think that the Grab communications team can do a whole lot more. I know that they're grappling with stuff around merger, and they're trying to figure stuff out. But come on, guys, even in Singapore, Grab is super expensive. You are losing your true value proposition as a fantastic ride-hailing company. You're becoming too expensive, and that's not going to go well in the long run, because people will start switching to other options. And clearly, even I, a very, very loyal Grab customer, have started using Ride, because sometimes you're charging for distance from Shenton Way to Tanjong Rhu, which is about 5 to 7 kilometers, even with your hyped up, surge pricing, $27 to $30. That's just atrocious. I mean, it doesn't sustain, and people will just look for other alternatives or go back to comfort. If I'm going to pay for so much, I might as well pay, a poor taxi driver who's looking to make money, and in that case, and help the local economy. So the communications team should be actually taking this issue. I don't know if you guys are listening to what your customers are saying on forums, on places, etc., and creating a platform, a feedback loop, so that you can actually help address some of the customer issues, which is really critical. And my piece of advice is, use your app, push information for foreign places, especially where cabbies are trying to create like a mafia in places like Bali and so forth, to tell customers where they're going. If I'm opening my Grab app, push me a message telling me go to the arrivals. It's easier to get a Grab there, or do a chat bot. I mean, how hard can it be? You guys are already looking at artificial intelligence chatbots. Do stuff like this, and just use your communications teams a little more effectively to talk about simple things, and gathering feedback and looping it back into your system. So yeah, that's my video for today. The next video I would like to put up soon is around companies and how ready are they for crisis communications. Till then, thanks so much. This is Aru Sayed, communication professional and foodie from Singapore.